everybody, and welcome back to another exciting episode. I'm your host, James. Alongside me, as always, his name is...
I'm Andy.
We welcome you to join us on this epic journey as we all become legend of the nerds. Afternoon, sir.
Afternoon.
You know, we always come in here at different times of the day, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I think last episode was like 1 o'clock. Now it's, 3:15 p.m. now? We gotta figure out a certain time for this, huh?
But normally it's around this time. Sometimes we have to come in early because one of us has something to do and vice versa. So it's the normal time, though.
But, is work going good for you? Because
I love
that's usually what stops our scheduling, right?
Yeah, I love work. I mean, can't get enough of it, so.
I can't imagine. Man, your hours are terrible, though.
Yeah, but it's better than it was before when I first started. They had me working like some days, some nights. Then it was just...
Oh,
this
right.
week's been the long stretch because I'm working the 7 straight days this week. So today's day 7. So
Day
hopefully-
7, huh? So you start at what? Midnight tonight or 11 o'clock?
tonight will be midnight because there's 2 of us. Two
So
night
midnight
outers.
to 8 or midnight to 6?
Midnight to 7.
7.
Yeah, because they'll give me 39 hours on the schedule because they know I punch in early and always leave late. So I
Okay.
always make up that extra hour plus overtime.
Nice.
So before, when they were giving me the straight 40 hours, I was getting like 5 extra hours of overtime. So
Hotel can't be too booked right now, huh? Kind of slow period?
no, there's like 30 rooms right now out of 120.
Okay.
So it's the weekends. That's the busy time. You got all those. We had a couples retreat this past weekend, so we had a lot of couples there.
Couples treat?
Yeah,
Almost like the movie?
not really.
Yeah, it's slow retail season right now. But we're picking it up, though, because February's here finally. Because January's terrible when it comes to retail. But now tax season's here. January's gone. February's showing up. Hopefully it picked up at work.
Selling a lot of those phones, huh?
Hopefully. That's the idea, because that's how I make my money, you know?
Brand new store. You got to step up.
We do, absolutely.
So.
We have a kind of a big show today, huh?
Yeah.
Got the Rumble to talk about later on tonight.
Yep.
Or today. Also, some good movie trailers you posted, huh?
Yeah, a lot of them I posted to you. They debuted during the Super Bowl. So good time to debut a brand new trailer when you got hundreds of millions of eyes watching.
That's absolutely right. Let's kick the show off with our checklist, Flareverse, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Honestly, I don't remember Supergirl too much.
Oh God, Supergirl was amazing.
I'm enjoying it, but I just like so much.
Out of the
Black Lightning on now, I'm just kind of
out of the 2-week stretch. So the first part, week 1, was the Fort Ross episode, where they have to fly way out into space because on Fort Ross there's
it was a girl team, right?
yeah.
Okay.
There's this priestess that knows more about rain, and Kara can't use her powers out there because they have a blue sun instead of a yellow sun like we do. So she recruits Miss Jupiter, which is Mon-El's wife,
Yep.
and 2 villains, Psy, who can use psychic powers,
Yep.
and Livewire uses electricity. And when they find the priestess, they find out she explains to them there's not just rain, which we already knew about the other world killers, but Kara still doesn't. So now Kara learns about the other world killers. Rain tracks them down to Fort Ross, kills the priestess for revealing too much info, and come to find out, you would think Rain doesn't have her powers too because she's Kryptonian.
Right.
And no, for some reason, world killers have their powers no matter where they go.
Well, I think Rain was made on Krypton. I don't think she is a Kryptonian.
Well, she's still weak to kryptonite. That's the thing, though.
Right.
So, but she still has her powers. She's about to kill Kara when Livewire steps up, takes a blow, and unfortunately dies, saving Supergirl.
I liked Livewire, too.
Yeah, she was one of those quirky characters that...
You gotta love to hate.
Exactly. So yes, so we find out about the other world killers, and we head on back to Earth, and Kara gets Psy for helping out a better cell, one with a window.
Right.
So it was a lot to take in on this. It was mainly finding out more of the background to the world killers, which we're going to start to step up to, where Kara's team is going to have to face off against these 3 world killers.
I mean, I'm enjoying Supergirl more this season than last season. I just feel like it's missing something. You know, if it's between the character development itself or the storyline, Supergirl's still missing something.
So I think it's perfectly fine the way it's going. The second episode wasn't really a Supergirl episode. It evolved more about the, I guess, rivalry between Lena Luthor and Morgan Edge. They're fight thing. Each one's trying to kill each other. Come to find out, Morgan hires someone to poison Lena. Kara saves her, revealing her Supergirl powers to Lena, but Lena was kind of in and out, so she doesn't really realize that Kara is Supergirl yet.
Yeah.
I should put that in quotation marks, yet, because it's going to happen.
I don't know. I think Lex is going to show up, and that's going to stop Kara from wanting to.
I was going to say, this is where we keep pushing towards Lex. So Lillian, Lena's mother, finds out that Morgan's trying to kill her and sends some drones, but Kara and Mon-El stop them. But to fight Kara, Lillian is in Lex's kryptonite exosuit.
Lex bot, yeah, it's awesome.
So you kind of have this Lex Superman battle, but it's Lillian and Kara.
Which is kind of cool. Yeah, I remember that now.
We're starting to see Lillian has a bunch of Lex's gear. Mm-hmm. Is that a push to Lex? I don't think so right now. But eventually, maybe we'll see a Lex kind of like the same amount that we see Superman. Once in a blue moon kind of thing.
Maybe. That'd be kind of nice, I think.
Yeah. They get Morgan to confess to trying to kill Lena. He goes to jail. This was also what I loved, the return of Guardian. Jimmy Olsen finally donned the Guardian outfit again this season, protecting Lena, because him and Lena are having this little romantic situation going on. But that was Supergirl. Not the greatest episodes. The Fort Ross one was.
That was all right.
The Lena Morgan Edge one, I just don't care much about.
And that's the problem about Supergirl, is that they have certain spots in the episodes that are like, oh, this is really good. But they're missing something that keeps my interest. Like, when I watch Arrow or Flash, I'm, like, watching those shows. I'm loving it, you know? But when it comes to Supergirl, I'm kind of like...
Well, that's where I think
I can't really connect with any of the characters.
That's where I think the World Killers are going to come in. Once we get more into the World Killers, maybe they'll wake up more people on Mon-El's ship and we get more of the Legion of Superheroes, because they did wake up Brainiac, which was awesome. Brainiac 5. So...
I mean, which we find all, but without that one character that people connect with, be like, oh, yeah, you know, I'm into that. Mm-hmm. I just don't think the show is going to be at that, like, Arrow and Flash level.
True.
Flash, huh?
Moving on to Flash, yes. So in the first episode, we have Barry's in prison, and he meets someone who helps him out in prison. His name is Dave Ratchet, played by A.K.A. Goldberg. Mm-hmm. I was talking to you about this earlier, and you love the whole fact that Goldberg's stepping up into CW.
It looked real good, right?
Who knows how long it's going to last after what happened in the other episode.
Yeah.
But, so he's helping Barry out because Barry's dad took care of him in prison, helped cut out his appendix and everything like that. So he owes Barry a favor, basically. Mm-hmm. They become really good friends, and but moving on in this episode, there's that, but it was more evolved around Ralph.
Yep.
And Ralph now is trying to save everybody in Central City. And
the Trickster's son, right?
Yeah. So Trickster meets Barry in prison, gets busted out by his own mother, the prankster, and they go on a little spree, and he shoots this acid onto Ralph, which Ralph always thought he was indestructible. Come to find out, no. This acid burns through him. It's hurting him. He doesn't want to be a superhero anymore. He has a sit down with Barry. Barry explains the risks of the job and all this stuff, and has a nice little moment there. Caitlin and Cisco get kidnapped by Prankster and Trickster.
Right.
And this is where Ralph steps up finally and becomes that superhero. He gets his brand new suit and he goes to sacrifice himself. He's to save Cisco and Caitlin, but good old Harry Wells goes ahead and screws up with the acid and makes it just water, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
So that was great. What I loved out of this was when Ralph is saving people and the news crew is talking to him and they don't know his name yet. And and they call him Stretchy Man. I thought that was funny. And then when they finally call him the last, what is it?
Elongated Man.
Elongated Man. He's like, it'll never stick.
It'll never stick.
But obviously that's what his name's going to be.
Yep.
So, second part, we have more with Barry and Dave talking about how Dave says he's innocent. He was convicted of murder, but he technically isn't. And so Barry enlists Team Flash to go find his killer. Come to find out, the meta they're tracking is the killer. He can shrink people and things. Shrinks Cisco and Ralph. And they know he killed them, but he won't confess
Right.
to the murder. So Barry goes out on a whim and uses waits for the camera looking at him, and uses his flash powers to take Dave to China, where he can go ahead and redo his entire life.
Right.
And comes back. Unfortunately, though, the warden, smart warden here, thought something was fishy and installed a hidden camera that he caught Barry using his flash powers. Knocks Barry out and traps him in the metahuman ward in the prison, and is on the phone with none other than Amulet, who likes to sell metahumans.
Which is a great twist of the storyline. Because I always kept thinking, like, okay, how are they going to get Barry out? Is it going to be legal? What's it going to be? Apparently, it will go in this storyline, which I think is a fantastic direction for the show.
Yeah.
It really takes it from, like, Flash here in season to up here on the season now.
I'm just wondering who are the buyers that want the Flash? Is it the main villain, the Thinker guy? Is it him trying to kill Barry somehow, or I don't know. We'll see. We also have Joe's wife, Cecile, or girlfriend Cecile, all of a sudden has metahuman powers and she can read minds.
Which is a nightmare, right?
Which Caitlin says will all go away by the time she gives birth. But there's a lot of fan speculation that the Thinker is, in fact, doing something to Cecile to screw up something that's going to go on in the future.
I don't think so.
No, you just think it's one of those fun things that's going on?
I think it's one of those whim things, yeah.
To finish up Flash, there was a scene at Jitters, the coffee shop, with Cisco and Ralph. They don't have any money to pay, and somebody pays the bill. Did you realize who this was?
Yeah.
It is the same girl who is the waitress at Barry and Iris's wedding.
Absolutely was.
And I told you, I go...
You didn't tell me because I agreed with you.
Okay, I said, my speculation is this is Barry and Iris's daughter from the future, and she time traveled back to go see her parents' wedding. She also has a book in Jitters with writing in it that is the exact same writing that Barry was writing all over the place when he came out of the Speed Force.
Yes, it was.
So if no one knows who this lady is, her name is Dawn in the comics, and I'm 99% sure that's who this is. We don't have a name yet. We don't have anything going on, but I mean, things are lining up that this is Dawn, Barry and Iris's daughter from the future.
Right.
I hope this goes somewhere. I really am enjoying this whole... Maybe we'll go into the future and see old Flash or something, or start seeing some of the new Flashes. Because if we remember, when Barry isn't Flash anymore, his great nephew or something like that, Bart Allen, becomes the new Flash, and that name has been brought up in a past episode of The Flash where Barry uses the name Bart Allen.
Right.
So we could see that maybe if they go into the future. I mean, maybe Dawn doesn't have powers and Bart brought her back to the past.
CW always seems to try their best to stick to the comics at best, right? If it is Dawn, she probably came back to see her father.
Yeah.
Because, face it, Flash dies a lot in the comics, you know? Barry Allen does not last very long as a Flash before he gets taken out. And then Wally West becomes the new Flash, and then Bart becomes the new Flash.
Yep.
So, I mean, this could be the storyline of Dawn, if it is Dawn, come back to actually meet her father. So it could go that storyline, which I bet it is.
Yeah, we'll see. So that is Flash. I love the whole Dawn thing. that was my biggest thing going on with Flash.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see where this is going to go.
I just love the whole jail thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. It's a great gimmick for the show.
Sure. A little Black Lightning. First episode of Black Lightning I really enjoyed.
The first two were really good. The third one was really weak.
2 and 3, I have no notes for it because I'm still learning people's names and all that. All I got out of it is Tobias, the main villain in this, a metahuman, because he strangled Lala in the cell with one arm.
Yeah.
Or one hand. Took out of this Black Lightning, got some new gear and a new move where he has like a little lightning shotgun kind of thing.
The thing about Black Lightning right now, Andy, is I think they're trying a little too hard right now. You know, because we're trying to learn who Black Lightning is. We're trying to learn who Jeff is right now.
Yep.
And then they're introducing his daughter way too soon.
Exactly.
As a meta-human, if we're going that direction. What we did learn, though, is what Earth Black Lightning is on now, which is Earth 3 with Supergirl.
See, I didn't even catch that.
Yeah, that's what we learned from the episode 3. Is that now we know, we've established a timeline on where Black Lightning takes place, Earth 3. Which is good, because now we can see maybe a merger of Supergirl coming over to Black Lightning, or vice versa, which it might be helpful for both shows. Mm-hmm. It might be helpful.
Yeah, the whole thing with Black Lightning's daughter, I obviously know becomes a superhero. She's known as Thunder, which makes sense now. Her powers are super strength. But when will she debut as Thunder? I could see it happening next season, if it happens.
Next season, maybe season 3, who knows?
Yeah. Right now, she's still training. The only other big thing was this whole marching down the
road,
the city thing, and unfortunately, the priest gets shot, and Black Lightning's youngest daughter's boyfriend gets paralyzed when he gets shot. It kind of shows that, you may be a superhero and you can save one life, but you can't. It shows that saying you can save one, but you can't save them all.
Yeah. This is going to be a dark, grimy show.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
I mean, we've seen in this drug trafficking, we've seen prostitution, we've seen murder, we've seen a lot in this.
Yeah.
It is actually a very dark version. And if you look at it, Black Lightning to me doesn't really have the same superhero powers that you think of when you think of all the ones we know with I mean, Arrow's not a metahuman, but still the way he fights and everything, and with Supergirl, Flash, and the Legends, it's one of those where you gotta tinker with it a little bit.
Oh yeah, they're gonna have a lot of tinkering to do. The show may last. I mean, who knows? That pilot episode was really good.
Yeah. Anything you'd like to add for Black Lightning?
No, I mean, we had a good discussion on that.
Okay, well, we're moving on to the last one, Arrow. Arrow has been very intriguing with the whole Caden James and why he wants to ruin Oliver's life.
Yep.
We find out that the reason is because Caden believes Oliver killed his son. And the problem is, when he says when his son died, Oliver was in Hub City.
Yeah.
So whose Arrow is this that's being shot at Caden James' son and killing him? I've started having speculations. Is it Malcolm Merlyn? But I don't see that being that.
He's dead.
We think he's dead. You don't know. My biggest speculation was then, would Roy kill somebody? But then I'm like, Then I thought of this. Evelyn. We don't know if she's dead after Leon Rue got blown up.
Maybe.
I mean, it's definitely someone with an arrow. But in the episode, we have Caden James. He attacks everybody using the internet. So he's killing people when they touch the walls of elevators and everything like that. He demands that the city, Star City, pays him $10 million every day. And Oliver tries to stop him with the help of Old Arrow Team, I call them. Unfortunately, they can't take down Caden James, so Oliver starts paying up. We also end up learning that Vince, a.k.a. Vigilante, is a double agent and is working to help take down Caden James.
Right.
Second episode, you have everyone's trying to find where Caden James is hiding this bomb. And Vince is able to find out where the bomb is, but unfortunately gets caught, and they find out that he's a double agent. Dinah and her group decide to go save Vince instead of going and trying to take out the bomb. And it was all for nothing because Vince ends up dying in this, spoiler alert, by Black Siren. She actually uses her voice and kind of liquefies his brain.
Oh, yeah.
So he can't regenerate and everything. And she does this in front of Dinah, screaming, no, no,
Now,
no,
do you
no.
think if Donna and her posse didn't go after them, do you think Vincent would still have died? Or do you think killing Vincent in front of her is what they wanted to do?
If Caden was going to kill him, that was the perfect time because
Yep.
it's in front of Dinah. If they had all gone to go after the bomb, they would have probably grabbed the bomb and then could have figured out how to try to save Vince.
Yeah. So that might be what breaks down this second team to be like, okay, Oliver actually knows what he's doing. He's making the hard decision, and we never realized that. We'll get back together.
Yes and no, because Oliver goes to Dinah at the end of the episode and doesn't apologize for what they did. He basically says, you made the wrong decision,
Yeah, pretty much.
and I'm not going to apologize for the death of Vince.
Yeah.
Very hard spoken, Oliver, to Dinah. That's the thing.
But I mean, like, it was the hard truth, though.
What we find out, though, even though they didn't get the bomb, was that this video that shows Oliver killing Caden James' son is actually made up of a bunch of different videos,
Oh, yeah.
which is the same thing of the speculated photo of Oliver as Green Arrow, which was made up. So we find out, yes, you think Caden James is the big bad this season? No, it's somebody else who's now trying to make Caden James go after Oliver. So he's puppeteering both sides right now. Who is it? I don't know. My thoughts are obviously Evelyn, because of the whole Arrow thing, shooting Caden's son and trying to get back at Oliver. 2, Ra's al Ghul, who I still don't think is dead.
Out of those two picks, Raish is probably the one to go with. I don't think everyone's smart enough to come up with a counter plan. But Raish, this is right up his alley.
Yeah. And
He's also playing Black Siren, too.
yeah. And we have I've read is it Nessa, or I can't remember which Al Ghul daughter, but the one that we see all the time, not the one from like Batman who's in a relationship with Batman, but she's supposed to be coming back in a future episode. So that was kind of a thought maybe into Ra's al Ghul.
I bet you it's Raish. If you think about it,
I don't think
the
he's
bigger
dead.
picture, I think it might be Raish, yeah. 'Cause he
Going,
was a cool villain in season 3.
going back to the part 1 of these 2 episodes too, we have at the end Oliver's son William is on a bus when Caden James is taking over the city and everything, and he finds out that Oliver has lied to him and is becoming Green Arrow again. If it wasn't for Felicity, though, William probably wouldn't have forgiven his father.
Yeah.
She literally sat down and said, look, he is doing this, and this. You need to realize things are going to happen.
Yeah.
He is doing this for your safety and the better of everybody else. And he now has come to terms with his father being Green Arrow and wants him to go out there and fight. So,
I guarantee you, future episodes, Oliver's going to train him.
there you go. Good thought.
I mean, you already had that one scene, they're like throwing the Nerf arrow around. So, I mean, it could happen.
Yes, it could. There we go. That is Flareverse. We took up a lot of time. The next time we talk Flareverse, though, we're going to be talking Legends of Tomorrow. It's coming back in a couple weeks.
So happy.
So excited.
I can't wait. All right, so let's move on to TV movie chat. We have some trailers that came out. One of them, let's get out of the way right now. New Crocodile Dundee. You seemed excited when you saw this trailer.
No, you being sarcastic?
Well, here's the thing. I thought you might be excited because you kind of like the actors that go along with Danny McBride.
I hate Danny McBride.
I can't stand the guy. You know, between Danny McBride, Will Ferrell, and all those other like guys that think they're funny but not. I you seem to be a kind of person who likes those kind of actors in those kind of movies. So I'm like, okay, Andy's probably excited about this. I'm not liking this at all.
My whole thing is when I saw this, it's a movie and Danny McBride's the #1 actor, is what they're pushing. Yet you have people in there, Chris Hemsworth, Thor,
Yeah.
Margaret Robbie, Hugh Jackman, Wolverine, for crying out loud. And they're co-stars to this idiot?
Yeah. Yeah.
Come to find out, though, this trailer is not a trailer for a movie. During the Super Bowl, they explained more about it. It is a promotion for tourism to come to Australia because Hugh Jackman, Chris Hemsworth, Margaret Robbie are all Australians.
Yep.
So that's what it was. It was more of a push. So we'll see. Will their tourist dollars go up enough where, I mean, how much money did you spend on all these promotions of all these actors, or did they do it for Australia?
They probably did it for Australia.
Yeah.
I can imagine it'd be like, oh, we're not doing that for our country and what's getting paid. I'm sure they probably.
Yeah, it was just, I saw it and I'm like, oh my God, stupid.
All right, so that was a hoax. Awesome. This one was actually kind of cool. Let's talk about Infinity Wars.
Yes.
It's only like a 36-second trailer, but
Biggest thing I loved out of this was Peter Parker in the Iron Spider suit on that little thing that's floating up in the air, and he's almost falling off it, and he reveals himself.
yeah.
I mean, when is that a good idea to reveal your secret identity?
I don't know. What was on Captain's arm, though?
His new shield.
That was that new shield?
Yeah, we're not going to see that traditional red, white, and blue shield.
Because when I saw it, I saw it over quickly. It looked like a weapon of some sort.
It's a shield.
It didn't look like it formed out for a shield when I saw it.
It's a shield. When they're running in Wakanda after all of Thanos' army, if you notice on his wrists too, he's got the same things that Black Widow has.
Okay.
So I don't think we're going to be seeing Cap fight with the shield. This is more of the dark version of Cap.
Right.
So that's why I don't think. I still speculate Cap's going to die in Infinity Wars, and the shield will be moved on to Bucky.
It could be.
Iron Man still has the shield. He's going to hand it over to Bucky. Just saying.
I don't know.
Just saying.
What else did you get out of the trailer?
It was hard to pinpoint my biggest thing.
It's only 36 seconds.
Exactly, and some of it we've seen already.
Yeah.
In the other parts, it's just a reminder that it's right around the corner.
Let's move on to a movie that, out of all the trailers you sent me, this one looked the best. Skyscraper.
Yeah, I'm surprised we're seeing another Dwayne Johnson trailer for a movie when Rampage hasn't even come out yet.
Yeah.
Usually you don't show multiple trailers of same actor with movies coming out in the same year. But Skyscraper looked really, really good. It's that traditional man's family gets kidnapped. He's got to save them and everything. But the whole heel twist, if word pundit there, is he doesn't have a heel. He doesn't have a leg. He has a prosthetic leg. So a guy running around trying to save his family with a prosthetic leg was kind of that little kind of gimmick, I guess. So it looks really great.
You know what was really weird about it? Seeing Neve Campbell as the lead female actress. I haven't seen her in a movie in a very long time.
Thing I took out of this, I was telling my my dad about this. I go, kind of reminded me of, because he loves Tower of Inferno.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, hey, there you go. Tower blows up. There's some fire coming down. There's your Tower of Inferno. But yeah, you were even saying you want Dwayne to stop with these movies that he doesn't really have to do.
Right.
Low budget, kind of funny movies, and get back to the serious thing. There you go.
And I think that's why he took his role. I think he realizes it too. That
Well, even with Rampage, I think I know you're not looking forward to it, but that is definitely stepping back into the big name movie action film instead of just the comedies like Baywatch and Jumanji.
Yeah.
So
We'll see how it goes. We'll see. I don't know what to do. At this point in time, we're doing this show for so long, I've learned to stop judging the movie until I've actually seen the movie. Because some of them are actually really good, and the trailers are just terrible.
like I said, when Jumanji 2 comes out, you are watching it.
Yeah, I might. I definitely might. Speaking of the wildlife, let's do Jurassic World. Forgotten Kingdom.
You criticized the very first trailer for it. I did too. It didn't look that great.
It didn't look that good.
This did, though. This helped it.
This helped. It explained a little more. It did help it.
It kind of reminds me of the second Jurassic Park movie where they're moving the dinosaurs to San Diego.
Yeah.
and they remake like another Velociraptor, something like that. So what I like though is the look back scenes, kind of when Chris Pratt's character helps birth Blue, and he has him as like a little baby and all that stuff. It's kind of a neat little friendship with a raptor that he has. So the trailer for this looks so much better, with the whole looking like they brought the dinosaurs maybe to America kind of thing, where they saved them. It's not just going to probably all be at the island, because the island is blowing up.
Yeah, it is blowing up. I mean, the first trailer didn't look very good. The second trailer was a little better to explain a little more, but I'm still not really excited about it.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I still see it making box office numbers. It's a Jurassic Park movie.
It's gonna make mad money in the box
Not as
office.
much as the first one, as when Jurassic World came back from Jurassic Parks. But I could see it. So Jurassic World, if I remember correctly, when we did the Nerdy Awards and it was up for years ago, up for Movie of the Year, it made in the billions. That's not gross after how much it cost them to make the movie, but how much it brought in ticket sales. It was in the billions, along with Paul Walker's last Fast and the Furious movie. It's not going to do that again, but I could see it making $750 million.
It's going to make some good money. It's definitely going to make some good money. But I wonder what Rotten Tomatoes is going to say about it.
Screw Rotten Tomatoes. I hate some of these people.
You may hate it, but it's there, and they
Their
really
it's their opinion. Doesn't mean it
push the numbers a lot in growth and box office numbers.
Whatever. I did add one that I didn't send to you, but it is down your alley.
Okay.
I learned of a 2-part DC animation. I know we love our DC animations. There's a movie already out there, because I was thinking in my mind, I was watching Dawn of Justice again the other day, and I wanted to learn more about Doomsday again. And come to find out, there's going to be a new Doomsday movie. And it's a DC animated, and there's already a Superman Doomsday animation movie. This one will be a 2-parter, coming out with part 1 this year and part 2 next year. And it's going to focus more on the comic book itself when Doomsday is made and everything. The first part is going to be called Death of Superman, because in the comics, Doomsday kills Superman. The second part will be called Reign of Superman. So, from what I got out of reading this is, DC, it sounds like, wants to focus more, kind of like what they did with The Killing Joke. That movie literally was step by step, reading page by page of the comic.
Pretty much.
So my thought is maybe they're going to do this with the Doomsday films. And, I mean, the way Killing Joke made bank, this is what DC needs to do, because...
Now, don't you think it's kind of weird that we're focusing on the death of Superman in an animated movie like this, when we just saw it on the big screen?
Ironic, I guess?
You think it's ironic? I think DC's backtrack, like, oh, we messed up there. Let me show you how it's really done in the cartoon animated form.
Could be.
I think.
A lot of people judged the way Doomsday looked, too, for crying out loud. He didn't look like the real Doomsday.
Yeah.
So, but my thought on that was, here you go, James. You are hardcore on the DC animations. I mean,
love DC
you've
animation.
seen basically every single one and know step by step what happened. So, good thing that they're doing this, kind of rebranding the Doomsday one, even though we've already had one.
I mean, Doomed was a great movie in the first place.
Yeah.
Doomsday was a great movie in the first place, but if they're going to expand it more, there's a lot they cut out in Doomsday, the first animated movie. What, keep going with it?
So you like the whole part 1, part 2 kind of thing? That's okay. There we go.
Yeah. I mean, we could see partially maybe Batman showing up in part 2.
There we go. To finish up TV talk, unless you had anything else, there was one thing to add to Infinity Wars I wanted to speculate on. And that is, there's a lot of talk. There's only one movie left before Infinity Wars. That is Black Panther.
Yep.
And we're missing one Infinity Stone, which is the Soul Stone. And my thought was it was going to come in Thor Ragnarok, which, sorry, spoiler, it doesn't happen. Because Hela is the goddess of the underworld. And I've thought to myself, a lot of people that I've talked to think that, oh, well, we still have Black Panther. It's going to show up there. Where would a Soul Stone come in handy in a Black Panther movie? I don't know where. So I highly doubt that's going to happen. My thought is, we're not going to see the Soul Stone in any movie. Thanos already has it. He's going to show up already with the Soul Stone.
Good.
This is why. In Guardians of the Galaxy 2, which you've watched, in one of the end credit scenes, you have Sylvester Stallone telling a bunch of the Ravengers, all right, let's go to work. One of those Ravengers, if you look closely, is Hela. She is one of the Ravengers. My thought is, when he says, let's go to work, is Thanos has hired them to go and get the Soul Stone. Maybe she tried to get it from them, who knows? Maybe she gave it to Thanos, something like that. But that was my speculation was, why would you say, let's go to work? You have someone who is the goddess of the underworld. She can go to the underworld and maybe find the Soul Stone. Why would she show up in the Guardians of the Galaxy movie right there with the Ravengers? I don't know. That was my thought. It was just that one line. Why would you say that? So my thought is, we're not going to see it till Infinity Wars, and Thanos already has it in the gauntlet.
Could happen. It could happen.
So one big thing is people think it's Heimdall. He has it. Who knows? But I don't think it's going to happen in Black Panther. There's nowhere you can interact the Soul Stone with Black Panther.
You'd be surprised what they can do.
Everyone's like,
With good writing,
well, it's in Wakanda, and the Soul Stone can help power things in Wakanda, and da-da-da-da. I'm like, I don't know. If that was the case, you should have gotten the Tesseract or the Power Stone or something like that.
Yeah, the Tesseract would power more stuff.
So I just had to throw that out there with Infinity War is only a couple months away. Speculation. I want to hear everyone's thoughts. Leave them on our Facebook page. Where is the Soul Stone? So, good segue, though, into TV talking movies.
You kind of missed one trailer.
Oh, yeah, but that's a crappy...
I wanted to quickly get it out there because I had thoughts on it. I'm talking about the Han Solo movie.
Oh, God.
I think enough is enough with the Star Wars
Yes.
movies. After watching this trailer, one thought's kind of hit. Looks exactly like J.J. Abrams' first Star Trek movie. That's what it looks like. Mm-hmm. Replace Han Solo with
Captain Kirk?
With Captain Kirk, and you have a Han Solo movie. You know,
I don't mind...
It's too much. There's too much backstory to these characters that nobody gives a crap about.
Yeah.
Especially when, if you want to do a Han Solo movie, there's one person I should have seen in that trailer to make say, okay, I'm going to watch this. Jabba the Hutt. It's the only person I should have seen in that trailer to say, I want to see this.
Yeah.
That's it. If this movie is based on how Han Solo gets the Millennium Falcon, I don't care. I want to know why he owes Jabba the Hutt so much money.
Well, it's also showing in there he was training with
Woody Harrelson?
The Imperial Guards and all that to fly those spaceships. So he was actually trained to be a bad guy in the beginning, too. So,
I don't care. I want to know why he owes Jabba so much money.
Well, you see, they showed young Yendo Calrissian or whatever his name is, young Chewie.
Yeah.
But no, I'm with the Star Wars things. I don't mind the episode ones, but these in between kind of things just don't do anything for me.
Like when Rogue One came out.
I still haven't seen it. Doesn't do anything for me.
I didn't care.
The storyline just doesn't.
I don't care how Princess Leia got the plans, the battle plans.
Yeah.
I don't care. Mm-hmm. Why would I care? She got them. That's all that matters.
It's just one of these things.
In the Han Solo movie,
George Lucas had all these different screenplays written for it. So,
but I mean, enough is enough. I mean,
if they're gonna still keep making bank, they're still gonna make them.
I mean, honestly, let's see a Spock movie. You know,
I think we're done with Star Trek. Moving on, it's TV talk and all these trailers is a good segue into box office heroes.
Box office
One of my favorite things to try to predict here. I'm going number 3, Chris Hemsworth, 12 Strong. Number 2, I think Christian Bale, is star of this, Hostiles. Maybe I could be wrong, maybe it was someone else. But number 1, I'm going with, I saw it on Thursday, it was the third part in the trilogy, The Maze Runner Death Cure.
All right.
Which, if you haven't seen it, go out and see it. It's a great way to end the Maze Runner trilogy.
So, box office heroes, week of February 2nd to the 4th. All right. Number 3, Winchester. $9 million.
Never heard of it.
Number 2, Maze Runner.
What?
$10 million.
Okay.
Number 1, again, Jumanji.
Are you...
$11 million.
Wow. I mean, nothing big has come out in the last month or so. So Jumanji still number 1, and that's going back to December.
This is the 3rd episode in a row
That movie came out
that
in
Dwayne
December.
Johnson has held on to the number 1 spot.
Wow. I think the problem is with the Maze Runner, not many people are too familiar with it. Maybe that's the third.
Dude,
that's the
they
problem.
lost it by only $1 million.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, but compared to a movie that's been out for 5-6 weeks,
I'm impressed.
I
With a series that not a lot of people have seen,
don't know.
that's pretty good.
Don't know.
I gotta give some credit, Andy.
Jeez.
Pretty good. All right, 18 minutes left. Get the Rumble. The
Yes.
Rumble, and also we're gonna do the Raw after and the SmackDown after, right?
Yep. Before we start, though, I don't ever talk about this, but 205 Live, the Cruiserweight show, I got something to tell you. The big news was they were going to hire a general manager for 205 Live. I
heard about
And there was
this.
speculation. I really wanted it to be Rey Mysterio. It was not. It is a guy by the name of Drake Maverick.
That name sounds so familiar.
You won't know it because WWE likes to rename everybody else. You might know this name, Rockstar Spud.
Yes.
He is the new GM of 205 Live.
Wow.
Yeah. And on his first night, he announced being the fact Enzo Amore was fired from WWE and he was the Cruiserweight champion. It was the beginning of a 16-man tournament that will all come together with the finals at WrestleMania.
That's cool.
Yeah. So,
Now, is Rockstar... I'm going to keep calling him Rockstar Spud because
Same here.
that's what he is for me.
Same here.
Is he injured so he can't wrestle anymore?
what happened was he signed his contract with WWE, and he did. He had an injury, so he's getting over that. So they're kind of, I guess, general managing him to do that. But it was funny. He came out.
It's not a bad spot for him.
He came out just like in TNA with the suit and the bow tie and everything.
Nice.
Loved it.
That's not a bad spot for him.
No,
That's pretty
he
good.
is good on the mic.
He is good on the mic.
So I had to throw that out there. 205 Live.
I may
new
have to
GM.
watch that. Mm-hmm. It's on Hulu, so I should watch it.
There you go. So, we also have real quick new Hall of Fame members joining Goldberg in
Yep.
the WWE Hall of Fame. I'm so excited to announce that the Dudley Boys are the newest inductees into the class of 2018's WWE Hall of Fame.
Good for
I am
them.
so excited.
Good for them.
God, they could finish the Hall of Fame right now. Goldberg and the Dudleys.
Yep. That's all you need.
Is Taker going in? That's going to put it over the edge if Taker goes in this year.
He might.
Because what we're going to get now is we're going to get in the middle a bunch of kind of wrestlers.
Yep.
And then that last one is someone big too.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll see. Segueing into the Rumble.
The Rumble. One of the best Rumbles I've seen in years, by the way.
Yeah. Let's start with a couple of matches real quick. We had AJ Styles versus Cammy,
Yes.
Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Their biggest gripe is that they never made a tag and AJ pinned the wrong person. It's one of these things where it's just the
Well,
way
we
the
saw
matches
this coming anyways.
the way the matches end are weird. It's
And WWE needs to be careful because this is the same way that the Usos kept their title because the wrong person was pinned.
yes, on SmackDown,
So they need to be careful.
Daniel Bryan said it on SmackDown. He tells them, "Well, the ref's decision is final."
Which is BS.
Exactly, because if you did that, then when we get into the wrestling talk part at the end, it segues into what's happening next week. So, AJ wins. The Usos had the 2 out of 3 falls against Benjamin Gable, and something that you rarely see that
Which
we
I really enjoy this match because I rarely see it.
yeah, we literally were sitting there talking about, you always know it's coming down to the third fall.
Yeah.
I've seen it happen once in my lifetime where a team has won falls 1 and 2. And as we're talking about it, bam, right off the bat, bam, bam, 2 falls, done. Usos are still your tag champs. Good push for them. I mean, one of their things is they're saying they're literally taking on every tag team in SmackDown, and no one can beat them. which will segue actually into what happened on SmackDown. But yeah, my boys, the Usos, are still the SmackDown Tag Champs. We had the Raw Tag Team Champions, Rollins and Jason Jordan versus Cesaro and Sheamus. This match was horrible.
I'm telling you, this Jason Jordan guy, I am not digging him.
He was great in the beginning, and now they're kind of turning him heel into...
Kind of whiny.
Yeah, that's what they're kind of turning him into.
Kind of whiny.
He gets hurt, and he's lying on the ground the whole time throughout the match, so it's a handicap match.
And it wasn't even that big of a hurt either.
No.
That fault was like, really? You're going to...
He then jumps back into the ring with a tag and literally can't do anything, turns around and re-tags himself out.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, Rollins can't do everything. He's an amazing wrestler. But Cesaro and Sheamus are now like a 4-time tag team champion.
Rollins carried that entire match.
Yeah. Last match, there was one we didn't get to watch. It was Bobby Roode had an open challenge for the U.S. title. It was on the pre-show against Mojo Rawley. I heard it was a great match, and Roode came out on top. The big match everyone was looking forward to was the triple threat, all three monsters. Braun Strowman, Kane, Brock Lesnar. So I fell asleep during this match, so you'll have to, if you remember what happened. But I looked at the time. It was 10 minutes.
Yeah, the match didn't last very long.
How do you have a world championship match last 10 minutes?
It wasn't that good of a match in the first place.
Well, it's Brock Lesnar.
They should have done more with Kane. Kane was the fall guy in this match the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's pretty much it was Strowman versus Braun. Strowman threw his weight around, threw people around, and then it just ended out of the blue. You have 2 broken announce tables, and then a pin. Kane took the F5 like 3 times in the match, so he was out the entire time, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know, like Kane is at the point of retirement. This should have been his match to come up on top and end his career as a champion.
It's Brock Lesnar can't wrestle in 10-plus minute matches. That's the problem.
Yeah. And Braun Strowman he's good, but he's still kind of green.
Oh, massive.
Especially for a main event, you know? So between Brock being terrible, Kane beating the beat-up doll, and then Strowman green, the match had no storyline to it.
Yeah. Getting on to one of our favorite things is the Men's Royal Rumble.
Yes.
We had 2 returnees in this match, the Hurricane and Rey Mysterio. Finn Balor started at number 2, and he lasted, I think, to like the final 4 or something like that.
56 minutes, I think it was.
Yeah, exactly. The biggest thing in this was a lot of booing for John Cena. More than normal.
So much.
This almost seemed like the heel turn for Cena.
Cena's getting more heely every week.
Mm-hmm. It was an amazing match. We don't have enough time to talk about everything that happened. But I called it. I said Shinsuke was going to win. Shinsuke won, and he's already saying he wants to face AJ Styles at Mania. The dream match that everyone's looking forward to.
Of course.
So, the main event, though, was the women. I did not see this happening where the Women's Royal Rumble was going to be the main event.
Mm-hmm.
Here are the returnees that happened in this. We had Lita, Trish, Tori, Molly Holly, Michelle McCool, Vicky Guerrero, Kelly, Jacqueline, Beth Phoenix, and the Bella Twins.
Yeah.
So that's a third of the Rumble had to be returnees. I said
they had to because there's not enough women, females to do 30.
I called it again. I said Asuka was going to win it. 2 for 2 in Rumbles. That was amazing. But the big news out of this mostly was at the end of the show, Asuka's trying to decide who she wants to face, and Rowdy Ronda Rousey comes out and doesn't say anything. She just points up to WrestleMania sign and kind of looks at Charlotte, tries to shake Asuka's hand. Asuka doesn't want to. That's Asuka's deal. She doesn't do that. My problem is she points at the WrestleMania sign, whoop-de-doo. Everybody does it. She doesn't say a word, and then she walks away with a grin on her face. She did more at WrestleMania 2 years ago than she did this time.
This was the worst promo to introduce a heavy hitter I've ever seen. Mm-hmm. It was terrible. She pointed at the sign 3 times, and by the way, that gimmick is getting really old really fast.
Yes.
The next person that points out that sign, I want to jump in the TV and break their finger.
Cena did
because it is so obnoxious. You know when it works well? When you guys like Undertaker, all he has to do is just glance at it as corner to eye.
Triple H
And
with Undertaker.
everybody knows exactly what's going on. Mm-hmm. Ronda pointed at it. What do you do?
Kind of giggling.
Shinsuke points at it. Everybody points at it. Make a point.
Yeah, and I
What's your
don't
purpose of-
really think her first match should be a WrestleMania type match either. That's the problem. She hasn't done anything in WWE. We don't know how her training goes. I don't know. But I don't care how good you think you are in the ring, too.
Oh, yeah.
If you can't cut a promo,
No.
ask Daniel Bryan what happened. He couldn't cut a promo to save his life. Now he's amazing at it, but no one liked it.
Here's what Ronda should have done. Walked in the ring, clocked Charlotte in the face, pointed at the sign, tried to shake Asuka's hand, then walk away. Mm-hmm. That's how that should have gone. Because what does that tell you? Ronda wants to fight Charlotte at Mania.
The only person,
It's a clear
the
message
only
you see
person-
happening, and now you don't see it.
The only person that pulled off really the best, let me come out, not say one single word, Jericho walking around the ring. It was the only time it was great.
Or Rock coming down, rock bottom, walk out.
Exactly.
You know, some sort of action like that when you go down the ring without a mic,
Mm-hmm.
you need to do something. Pointing out a sign for 3 times doesn't tell you anything. It tells anything.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, all we know is that she's not going to show up at Mania. She just pointed at for random.
True. We say the Rumble is one of our all-time favorite pay-per-views. It was great. I love that the women now have a Rumble. They didn't do that bad of a job for their very first time doing it, and it was an over-the-top thing.
That's what made it better. One of the best parts in that when you had Trish and Mickey face off. That was probably the best spot in that match.
1-2, they real quick. Trish was in front of Sasha. You know, how Sasha does a little strut. Trish does that before she like stratisfactions her. Mm-hmm. I'm like, there you go, Trish. Come back.
Yeah.
That's how you do it.
It looked good.
So we'll get into the wrestling talk real quick now. We had, before the Rumble, we had Raw 25. Really wasn't a wrestling show. It was more bring back the old timers and do a lot of promos.
It was a promo show. That's why I wanted to ignore it.
It was still entertaining, though. The whole DX thing with Scott Hall and X-Pac. What I liked was they had 2 venues going on at the same time. One at the Barclays, where they have every SummerSlam now, and where Raw 1 was, which was the Manhattan Center.
Yeah. But you know, but Kevin Nash was nowhere to be found, so it kind of killed the entire thing.
Yeah, and Edge wasn't there, obviously. He even said he had prior engagements going on. But
his wife could show up. That's awesome.
hey, the biggest thing on 25 was Undertaker coming back and doing his speech, which made it was very cryptic. I don't know where it's going. Mm-hmm. At the end of Mania, it looks like that's the end of Undertaker. He leaves his cloak and his hat in the ring and disappears.
Technically, it could be the end of the Dead Man.
You think Badass Taker's coming back?
I mean, that's the way these guys work. I mean, think about it. Mick Foley entered the Royal Rumble
I think
back in 98, entered it 3 times.
I think this was an encryption as a Easter egg clue that he's going in to the Hall of Fame.
It could be.
That's my thought.
It could be.
SmackDown, nothing really happened. It was all setting up. So we get into after Mania, and we had on Raw, they announced that at the Elimination Chamber this month, we are going to make history again, and the women, Alexa Bliss is going to defend her title in an Elimination Chamber. Mm-hmm. Hey, they patted the chamber down now, so why not? I'm actually kind of excited to see where it goes. We'll see. The last time they were in a cage, Hell in a Cell, it was horrible. But we also find out we're going to have qualifiers for a men's Elimination Chamber to find out who will face Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, because obviously Lesnar can't defend his title back-to-back months. Mm-hmm. Qualifier, you had John Cena versus Finn Balor. Amazing match. John Cena wins, but again, he's getting booed by everybody. And
he was really heelish
this
that
is
match,
where
too.
he points to the sign and he's yelling at everybody, what do you want me to do? I'm trying to go to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Could be the heel turn we're seeing. We had Elias beat Matt Hardy, so he is in. And we had Braun Strowman versus Kane, last man standing match. I was really looking forward to this. It was a crappy match.
It was.
And now Kane is out indefinitely.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens with the other 3 matches.
I will tell you one thing, though. When I heard that on the card was Elias versus Matt Hardy, I was super excited about that match.
I really want Matt Hardy to win.
I was excited about that match. And you know what? It was a pretty decent match.
Yeah. So we'll see where it goes from there with who are the next 3 that are coming in. On SmackDown, getting with the whole Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn thing and AJ. So Daniel Bryan has announced that next week we will have a #1 contendership match, and the winner will face AJ at Fastlane. It will be Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn. At the end of the show, Sami went really nuts on Kevin, and it made me think Sami's winning this match. They pushed him very hard. There was also a fatal 4-way match between Rusev, Jinder Mahal, Zack Ryder, and Kofi Kingston. Winner will face Bobby Roode next week for the U.S. title. Rusev wins that. Obviously, they're pushing Rusev, turning him face with the whole Rusev Day thing. So we'll see what's going on there. The best thing that was out of this was the Riot Squad took on Charlotte and knocked her out.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, Carmella's music hits. She comes running down with that briefcase, and she gives it to the ref, and the ref's trying to cash it in.
Yeah.
And I'm like, here we go. Here we go. Charlotte's talking about how she's going to WrestleMania. Might not be. And Charlotte kicks Carmella into the ref, and the ref falls out of the ring.
Just knocked
doesn't
out.
get back up, and Carmella just grabs her briefcase and runs away. Do we think Carmella will cash in and become champion, or is she going to pull a Baron Corbin and screw it up?
She's gonna screw it up.
I hope so, because she just doesn't have the talent that I like.
There's no push. She's I'm not feeling her at all. You know, there's nothing about her that makes it scream that she could hold that championship and bring the women's champion up there more. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, Charlotte, as much as I trash her, she's phenomenal. She really is.
Oh, yes.
As much as I trash her,
She's
got the talent.
She's one of the tallest divas, women wrestlers,
Yeah.
and she goes to the top rope and does a moonsault outside
Yeah.
the ring and lands it.
So I joke about her all the time, but she deserves her title, you know? And I like to see Sasha Banks get back that title, too.
Yeah. Really quick with the Usos talking about how they've beaten every team as they're leaving. The Bludgeon Brothers come out, which they're such a laugh, I guess. Literally, since they became the Bludgeon Brothers a couple months ago, every match they've had is a squash match.
I noticed that.
And if they become the next #1 contenders, you haven't shown me anything except squash matches. I literally fast forward the 2-minute match, so I
Yeah.
don't have to watch it because it looks so crappy.
Yeah.
Why push these guys?
Here's the thing. I don't understand why they're getting a squash match. It's not like we don't know them at all.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they are very talented. They've proven themselves how talented they are. They don't need squash matches anymore. They don't need it. Mm-hmm. Put them in a regular tag match. You know, let's see what they can really do.
Yeah. To finish up with the show, the whole Cena turning heel thing, because I really want to get more.
See, now you're on board with it.
In
I've been
depth
telling you
with
this
it.
for years.
Everyone's speculating that if Taker has a match, it's going to be Taker Cena at WrestleMania.
And it should be.
There has been a picture that has surfaced on the internet, and it's this dark, like black picture, and you have Undertaker like this, and Cena sitting underneath him, and Undertaker right there, and Cena's got this like ticked off look on his face. That might be the heel turn push after Mania, with Taker turning him to the dark side, kind of thing. I mean, the picture
great.
the picture was really intriguing.
Yeah.
I mean, Cena's wearing like a hood and everything.
That's kind of cool.
It's just, I don't know if it's fan made or if it's a WWE
Oh, it's definitely fan made.
Easter egg, but that's a good segue push for Cena becoming heel turn.
Cena's in talks to the studio for a new movie, by the way. You heard about this? Duke Nukem?
Ooh. He's got the look.
I'm not sure if Cena's going to continue being that free agent kind of stuff and continue wrestling half part-time, or what he's going to be doing.
If Cena retired, I wouldn't have any problem with it.
No, I mean,
16, 17 years, amazing wrestler.
yeah,
So,
guy's talented.
unfortunately, we're down to our last 30 seconds here. As always, thanks for joining us on this episode of Legends of the Nerds. Don't forget, watch this episode and every other episode on our YouTube and Facebook pages at Legends of the Nerds, and every week here on Northwest Access Television on Channel 15. Don't forget, follow us on the Twitter at KrillinMan. And next week, I am hoping to have some more movie reviews so we can go over and talk about those. Maybe Kingsman 2, something like that.
Fantastic.
So thanks again, and remember, stay nerdy.